Well, welcome back on into Fox 43 AM Live. Joining me now is Miss Linda with the Capper Foundation. How are you doing today?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to have you here. So we are talking everything Halloween safety. So first things first, you know, for kids that are going to be out trick-or-treating, what would you say to them just for tips and tricks for trick-or-treating and safety?
Yeah, so safety is the utmost important item. Flashlights, staying on sidewalks, doing those kinds of things. If children are sensory sensitive, then going earlier in the evening when it's not dark so that they can see better and maneuver around the neighborhood or the area.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And as far as costumes, I mean, it's going to be a little birdie, Becky Taylor, told me, our meteorologist, it might be a little cold too. You know, as far as costume safety, what would you say today? Well,
again, reflective tape on costumes, those kinds of things, having them practice wearing their outfit and walking in it. We encourage kids not to carry extra items, so not to carry the extra things like swords or things like that, and just being aware of how your child feels in that costume. Masks are, it's much better to do face paint than to mask, so that they can see well and get around.
Yeah, and masks can be very, you know, claustrophobic, make you feel very you know, you feel kind of stuck, and I can see face paint being a lot better sensory wise too for those kids as well. And you know, speaking of people that are going to be handing out candy, they need to be careful as well. They need to make sure that they're accommodating those trick-or-treaters. What should they be looking out for?
Well, we encourage them to come down, especially if they have stairs at their front door, to come down in front of the house in the driveway and meet kids there rather than having children on stairs. Doing things like having a porch light on, keeping the family pet inside so that doesn't scare children, and helping children select and by being patient with kids. So some kids may have motor skill deficits that when they go to grab things, they may not be able to control that movement as well. Children with vision disabilities would benefit from someone telling them what their choices were, things like that. And then we always encourage the people passing out things to take into account the children with allergies, and that's the Teal Pumpkin campaign, and having things like pencils, crayons, stickers, the spider rings, those kinds of things for all the children as well.
Yeah, and do you mind explaining a little bit more about the Teal Pumpkin project? I just want to hear a little bit more about that this morning.
It's when families put out teal pumpkins, there are a lot of children allergic to different food items, nuts, those kinds of things, as well as a lot of children do have reactions to sugar, and so those are not the best choices for those children. So we try to encourage families to pass out things that are still fun, still Halloween, but aren't eaten.
Yeah, aren't, you know, don't need to necessarily be consumed.
Right.
They can be, you know, those crayons that you spoke about, other things that they can play with. They can, you know, hands-on, you know, things that they can use as well.
Bubbles are a great one. Sometimes you can get bubbles.
Yes. Bubbles would be great. You know, but for any, you know, parents that are watching, maybe this is their first Halloween that they're taking their kids out trick-or-treating. Just lastly here, you know, what would you say to them, just safety-wise, kind of overarching tips and tricks that they need to be keeping in their back pocket with them?
Well, we encourage parents to be in tune to their child very much, because this might be overwhelming. It is at the end of the day. We might be tired, so not to push it, to take children to familiar places of people they know, so they're comfortable that way, and to practice with their child ahead of time. Teach those appropriate skills if you have the opportunity, the please and the thank you, and and how to say trick or treat. Now, some children have communication disabilities as well, so they may, under stress, not be able to use those words. And we encourage families to just share a little bit of that if they feel comfortable with that, and just say, oh, this is stressful for them. They don't communicate as well. And there is a new blue pumpkin out that if children are carrying a blue pumpkin, it's related to autism. So again, you might know that that child then might not talk.
Yeah, and so then they can be prepared to, you know, how they're going to interact with that child. That's wonderful. And that's the blue pumpkin versus the teal is for those allergies.
Exactly.
Oh, great. Well, Linda, is there anything else too that you can think of that those parents need to be aware of?
Just know that lots of children love Halloween, and even our older children love Halloween. So don't turn away children that might appear to be older and want to participate in the fun.
Yes, because we all want to participate and have a little fun, don't we?
Yes, yes.
All right, well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I hope you have a wonderful and safe Halloween as well.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.